Today I'm bringing you a look using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cosmos palette. I've created a halo look using a duochrome pink bronze surrounded by a nice matte muted plum. This one is so stunning, especially in the flesh. That duochrome reflex is just so pretty, and being placed just in the centre makes this part of your lid look bigger. So as you can tell by the name of the palette, it is inspired by the star-filled galaxies. There are 12 shades in a mix of matte and metallic finishes. The first shade I'm using is called Eclipse, and this is the matte muted plum shade. I'm taking the What's Up Beauty R107 pointed pencil brush, and we're placing this eyeshadow on the inner corner of the eye from the root of the eyelashes up to the socket line, and we're buffing it slightly over that socket line so it's very soft. And then use what's left on the bristles to pull that colour from that inner corner outwards towards the centre of the lid. Dipping your brush into a little bit more of that colour, we're going to take this on the inner corner of the eye on the lower lash line this time, taking it underneath the tear duct and buffing it towards the centre. Moving on to the outer edge, we're creating a winged shape, so we're going to follow the line of our lower eyelash line as if it was to continue up towards the tail of the eyebrow. Create a V shape, so you're coming back from the top of the wing towards the socket line, and then start to pull that colour onto the lid itself. We're also going to take that underneath our lower eyelash line on the outer corner so that they connect at the outer edge of the eye. I haven't applied any more colour to my brush at this stage because we want to just use what's left on the bristles so that nothing is too heavy, and then you can dip your brush back into the colour and start building up the shape that we've created. Here I'm using the tip of the bristles to start working that colour from that outer edge towards the centre of the socket. Dipping my brush back into the eyeshadow, I'm building up this outer edge, pulling it down towards the lash line, and then as you step back and look at the overall finish, you can see we're creating a bit more of an almond shape finish to the eye. When creating a look like this with matte finishes in a darker shade, it is very important to use light washes of colour. That way you're not going to create a muddy mess. Now we're going to go in with a clean blending brush and buff over the seams of this so everything is very soft before going back in with the Eclipse shade to start intensifying the shape that we've already laid down. I'm only using a total of 3 brushes for this makeup look, but I will list and link them in the description bar along with any discount codes, especially for BK Beauty, because you can get 10% off with those. Okay, so going back to the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to take the shade Space Dust. This is a matte sandstone colour. It's very similar to my skin tone, which is great because as we buff this in, it's going to soften that Eclipse colour, blending it into my skin tone. If you are slightly deeper or slightly fairer, use a nudish kind of shade that works with your skin tone to soften the Eclipse shade. I'm buffing this through the socket slightly higher than the shade that we already applied. And then we're also going to take that on the mobile lid on the outer third to soften the seam between Eclipse and our skin tone that we've not applied any eyeshadow to. Now don't worry if this really dilutes the shade that you've already applied, because you can go back in and layer Eclipse, but we want a nice blend between these two shades. Take what's left on your bristles underneath your lower eyelash line to soften that colour as well. Eyeliner is optional. I'm taking the MAC Coffee Pencil. I started off by applying it to the outer third and the inner third and leaving the very centre with no colour, but I decided at the end just to take it all the way across. So it's completely optional to you guys. I like the brown tones with this. You could also use a plum shade. I'm now going back in with the Eclipse shade on the pointed pencil brush and just reapplying this on the inner corner on the top lid and the lower lid, and also underneath the lower eyelash line on the outer corner, and then working my way up to the outer edge on the top lid. As you can see, by layering these colours, we're getting a very soft diffused finish to these eyeshadows, and matte finishes are renowned for being slightly harder to blend because they can often come off slightly patchy, but we're getting a beautiful seamless blend. Sun is probably my favourite colour in this palette. This is a duochrome pink bronze shade, and because it is a metallic finish, I just feel like it goes on better with your finger. The placement for this eyeshadow is directly on the centre of your eyelid. We're not going to take it back to meet Eclipse either at the front or the back, but we are going to pat a very light amount using what's left on our fingers either side of the centre so that the edges are soft. And I'm just redefining the wing on the outer edge, again using the lightest amount of product because we want this to be really soft, and using what's left on the bristles to take that through the socket just to redefine this area, to build it up slightly so there's a little bit of darkness running through that socket but nothing too heavy. And then going back in with the BK Beauty 206 brush to soften. I'm now taking my Sigma E21 brush, dipping that into Sun and mimicking the top lid by applying this underneath our lower eyelash line directly in the centre. Use what's left on the bristles to tap either side, again just to soften. Next up, you want to apply some mascara. You can leave it with just mascara. I am going to apply some falsies today, as you saw at the very beginning. So I'm only going to apply one coat rather than building up my lashes. However, if you're going to wear mascara without the falsies, definitely apply a couple of coats to give this a nice lashy finish. Then once your mascara is dried, give your lashes an extra curl and then they'll stand upright. I will show you what this looks like just with mascara. My preference obviously is a false lash because I feel like when you're applying quite dark colours on the lid, the balance looks better when you've got false eyelashes. That's not to say you have to wear them. So once you've applied mascara to both your top and bottom eyelashes, this is what it looks like with just one coat of mascara. So you can't really judge it because, as I said, you would apply a couple of coats and then give them an extra curl for added lift. But for me today, I'm going to apply some LBO1 false eyelashes by LashBase. If you guys want to try them for yourself, use my discount code. They also do much more natural looking ones, so if you're slightly more mature and you don't feel like you can pull off the LBO1s, there are some great alternatives on there. Place these on the centre of your lid, allow that to go slightly tacky and then tuck in the edges. I do have tutorials dedicated to eyelash application and I will link the playlist on screen for you. So this is a nice quick one today. It's just to show you a look using the Cosmos palette, and if you want any more looks with this palette, let me know and I'll do something completely different. Don't forget to use the discount codes for the LashBase false eyelashes and the BK Beauty brushes. All the products I've used will be listed and linked in the description bar. Please come follow me outside of YouTube over on Instagram at ShowMeMakeup. Give the tutorial a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you are new. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in a couple of days with another video. Bye guys!